Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe. Alan from WallStreetTeasyStreet.com. This is my first video from my new trading room. And what we're going to do today is, it's Sunday, waiting on the market to open. So we're going to go over the trade plan for the week, what we need to be aware of. First thing we're going to do is take a look at the economic calendar for what's coming up ahead of us. Even though we're scalpers and we're in and out of the markets in seconds to minutes typically, we still don't want to be blindsided by something going on. So we take a look at one of the economic calendars, and we want to take note of everything that's could possibly get the market moving. So I've went and filtered out using my FX book anything that's not a high priority for the euro and the dollar, and these I'll take a snapshot of and keep on my desktop so I don't forget them. The last thing you want to do is be in a trade, a scalp trade, and have news sneak up on you and send you to a loss when you should have been sitting on the sidelines. So these we want to be aware of. Some of them will get the markets moving, some of them won't, but just in case, we want to be aware. So as a scalper, I scalp a 70 tick chart in Forex and a 100 tick chart on the 6E. So what I've done here is I want to mark those areas where I know where buyers and sellers happen to be, and that way I can expect a reaction at that area. So I went and switched to a 60-minute chart here just to make things easier to see, and I've marked this area here. This is prior to the release of FOMC last week, and typical of what happens is we get a big spike down or a big spike up on FOMC, then the market does a 100% retracement. It does this a lot. So this kind of move up right here, this was expected, and you can see that sellers came back in here. They were still there and sold the market back off. So I want to be aware of this area coming up as we trade throughout this week. If we come back up to this area again, then I want to be looking for sellers to be in there. So I want to be real cautious about going long anywhere in here. Once the market has broken above this area, then I'm probably free to scalp long again. But once it gets into this red zone, then I want to be cautious. And of course, when the market did drop, it dropped down here where the buyers took control. And you can see buyers took control, got a little retest here, and buyers were able to drive the price back up to this resistance area. So same thing as we trade throughout the week. If the market starts trading down, then I want to be cautious of shorting in this area. I want to stand on the sidelines until we break this area, and then I'll be free to short again, moving to the downside from here. In the meantime, we're kind of in the middle of the market. So we happen to pick up some buyers here at the 0-0 level, and I expect it to push up here, probably back up to the 5-0 for a retest before heading to the downside. That's really what I'm going to be looking for the week ahead. Again, we trade the chart, but these are just areas that we're marking where we need to be aware where there may be buyers and may be sellers. So now we're on our 100 tick chart, and you can see where those areas was. So currently price has moved down to the 0-0, picked up some support here, and like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we traded back up here to this 5-0 and retested it before heading south. A lot of times we'll get a kind of a 50% retracement, and that's usually good enough to bring in some more sellers. So anywhere around 37 all the way up here to 50, I'll start looking for any signs of sellers coming in, and if I see those signs, I'll be cautious about scalping to the long side. Typically, we only look at the last couple hours of the chart. So you can see here the market had traded down towards Friday afternoon, and then traded down to the 0-0 area where we picked up some support here. So this support may continue on up again to around the 50 level. So if it does, we keep making higher highs and higher lows, I'll be scalping to the long side. Once we break this area of 94, for those of y'all that watch how I trade for the last year, you know I don't like to short around the 0-0. However, once we break 94, we're free to short. And you can see the market traded down here. So it got to 94, maybe 93, and then reversed and headed north. That's why we have that rule of not shorting till we get a setup below 94. It's a good little example there. So again, for the opening later today and really for tomorrow morning, I'll be looking for this to trade probably back up here, retest this area before heading back south. And if it does turn south, then I'll be watching for this trend to continue of lower highs, lower lows. This was probably short covering at the end of the day, so we may just see it turn south immediately from the open. Once we do break this area right here, coming down, then we're free to short until we get to that last area of where the buyers was I had marked earlier. So that's really what I'm looking for as we start the trading week. I want to be aware of what news is coming out that may affect the markets. And we're going to trade the trend, higher highs, higher lows, based on our short-term chart and our 7 setups that we look for. And I hope you all have a good trading week ahead, and we all can make some money. Good trading to all of y'all.